We are sitting at various stages in our countries in terms of transparency and openness and political accountability. There are countries in this continent where you cannot even begin to criticize government. There are countries where civil society cannot even begin to criticize government. And yet there are countries where you can criticize the president directly on social media and nothing happens to you. So because of that, we walked away from this conference with one of the top resolutions being that we need to build solidarity amongst each other, and we also need to find ways and means to support one another. In terms of that, we found out that more or less we could say transparency and accountability in terms of debt in this continent is sitting somewhere below 20 to 25%. Because most legislators are not aware of the debt that their countries are taking. And if they are, it is only at the tail end as a rubber stamp, which is supposed, it's like the tail wagging the dog. Because the legislators, as the policymakers, are supposed to debate this issue from beginning to end. But cabinet unaccountability and the corruption levels are such that the parliamentarians get only the tail end of it. So that disparity is another second resolution. We walked away from this conference saying we need to find means and ways to strengthen legislature access to this knowledge, but not just access to the knowledge, legislature action and legislature solidarity across the countries. And the network that I chair comes in hand in that, because we are volunteering MPs who are committed to fighting illicit financial flows and who are committed to tax. And you cannot separate tax, illicit financial flows and debt. So we shall see going forward how we forge these strong synergies between UPNIFT and AfroDat. But it was a valuable conference. It truly showed that where most people criticize CSO and say you get together and you talk, go and act, we can't talk enough, because the picture needs to be painted in terms of where countries sit and how best to do that, except having people from those countries speak, because that's better than a desktop research.